Hello, and this is Midland Production. With me today, I have a lovely friend.
Hello, my name's Steam Trunks Productions. Lovely to be here as always.
Very nice. We do not have Raymond with us, Raymond Productions. He is sadly gone on volunteering, and he won't be back soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be doing as the title says, we're doing the London North Western Railway 222. Yeah, I got that correct. 222 3020, also known as Cornwall, and who is a unique a unique engine that's been preserved, and was the only one of her kind. And I wonder why Big
First and
Bertha
last
wasn't
of a line.
preserved. Yeah, I wonder why Big Bertha wasn't preserved. Oh wait, because Cornwall's more nicer. Anyway, let's no one clip that. Anyway, so we're going. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. So,
Yep, sounds good. Sounds good.
right. So, if anyone doesn't know Francis Trevithick, then you might know the end, and you might know the last name Trevithick. So, Richard Trevithick was married to Jane Trevithick, and Jane and Richard Trevithick had a son called Francis Trevithick, and then Francis Trevithick was the one who built Cornwall, our lovely, lovely soul of an engine. So, Francis Trevithick built Cornwall in 1858. But before this, in the 1840s, an express passenger locomotive design was focused to be a single large diameter driving wheel to be around 2.4 meters, which is about 8 feet in length, and the wheels were meant to be quite effective because it was large driving wheels delivered by the high linear tire speed of needed faster. Basically, they just need faster locomotives back then. It's a weird complex. I'm not going to explain about it anymore in detail. So the locomotive was built with a one solution Crampton design, and the Crampton design was basically driving wheels was moved behind the boiler of the firebox, and these engines were relatively long in comparison, and also had long rigid frames, and sometimes these were also built into a 6-0 wheel arrangement. And well, this isn't the case really, because Cornwall is a 222, I might add. So, and the lovely 222 Cornwall was built for the London North Western Railway, the LNWR. And one of these LNWR Cramptons, in particular in Liverpool, had a long wheelbase of 10 feet and 6 inches. But it was used for the heavier trains anyway. So I'll talk about the lovely design of the 1847, the designer Trevithick. So Francis Trevithick had a noble idea, and was the son of the Cornish engineer Richard Trevithick. Lovely man. Then Francis was moved north to be the resident engineer by then locomotive superintendent of the Grand Junction Railway. I've never heard of this railway myself. We might put a topic on there and later. Put a link in it. Well, tell us in the link in the description. Anyway, and was later formed into the LNWR, and Cornwall was named after the country of its birth. How cute!
Yeah.
So Cornwall was an attempt to avoid the damaging long wheelbase of the Cramptons, and whilst the large driving wheels were permitted to, were permitted to be huge for to be faster in all general reasons. By moving, the axle was ahead of the firebox, which was a bit unusual, and the carrying axles could be moved backwards, giving a shorter overall wheelbase, and it was a bit weird, I might say. It was a bit weird. Now, back then in 1847, Trevithick built our lovely Cornwall as a 4-2-2. So, traditional Crampton design, but Cramptons were a 6-2-0. Anyway, we'll move on. And this was similar to a lovely locomotive on the Great Western Railway called the Gorch class. I don't know how you say it. Gorch class. I don't know how you say that correctly. Move on. Yeah.
Isn't it Gooch class or something? I don't know.
What, Gooch class or Gorch class? Gorch.
I think it's Gooch class.
It sounds a bit more like Duke.
Yes. Anyway.
There was a bit of a Fowler design, because well, the thing is, I'm going to try and put this in short, and people are now clicking off this video as I talk. So the basically the cylinders were horizontal and fed by inclined steam chests above them, which would basically lead them to potentially weak cranks, basically not making enough steam.
Yeah.
I will say though, so in its lovely service life we will get to later, we're going to move on to the 1858 rebuild by James Ramsbottom, and which my lovely friend is going to talk us through it.
Sounds good. Right. In 1858, Ramsbottom designed the Cornwall almost completely. Many changes. Cut. Little survived. Yeah. Right. Very little of the original engine survived unchanged. Other than the outside frames and the centre drivers. However, the boiler was now moved entirely above the driving axles, without any notches, channels, or tubes, to what would now be regarded as a conventional practice. New cylinders and valve gear were provided, fractionally smaller at about 17.5 by 24 inches, which approximately translates to 440 millimeters by 610. The wheel arrangement was now a 222, shortening the wheelbase still further to 14 feet and 10 inches, which is about 4 meters and 52 meters. Ramsbottom also included his newly designed tamper-proof safety valves, which means that if someone tried to sabotage one of the engines, they wouldn't manage it. It's foolproof or sabotage-proof, shall we say. Another minor rebuild in the 1870s provided a typical London North Western Railway style cab with a short roof and semi-open sides. it was renumbered to 3020 in June of 1886. Should I continue to into service in
Oh
service
no, no,
or
I was going to
right?
talk about that part if you didn't
Right.
mind.
I'll now give the word over to my friend Midland. Take it away.
Indeed. Right. So we will just say Cornwall was a famously successful high-speed passenger express, but for its period, of course. Uh, but a reporter in 1844, who was on the Crewe to Chester run behind Cornwall, got the average speed up to 50 miles an hour, or 50 miles per an hour, which would be 81 kilometers an hour, and was able to be reaching 70 miles per hour, which is 110 kilometers an hour for you nerds out there, going down Whitmore Bank, which is impressive. It was remained on the express on Yeah, it was remained on express services on the old Liverpool to Manchester route until withdrawn in 1902. The lovely thing is though, after after it became a inspecting engine, it was recorded in 1921 to Crewe and London as to Crewe and London. It was a piloting engine. So it was a pilot of an engine on the regular express. So that was something to be looking for. So picture yourself this. You're on your farm field, ploughing your land, and then you would usually hear trains just whistling by going 70 miles an hour. But then you hear a different whistle and you see an engine going 50, and it's just an old engine with heavy coaches. Now imagine, put that in your head and think, what on earth is that engine doing? So, moving on.
Yes.
A reporter in 1925 recorded that the Cornwall was still in service, and Hulling was doing some mechanical engineers inspection, and always putting an inspection coach. And on its final retirement, Cornwall was preserved amazingly, and was one of the first locomotives to be so much treated by its predecessors. Now, I'd like to make an honourable mention to Japan, because in the mid 1980s, Cornwall was repaired by the National Railway Museum and air freighted to Japan for an exhibition and returned back to Crewe.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, mind blown, because
Yeah.
because when reading it through, that was a bit mind blowing for me.
Yeah. Me too. Like
Indeed.
it must have some. It must have broken some sort of record, like first engine to be carried by plane or something. I don't know.
What's that you on about?
You said air freighted.
Yeah, air freight, because planes do air freight,
Yeah, it must be the
Basically,
first
ba-
engine air
basic,
freighted. No?
basically, it would basically what I would think they would have to do, because they couldn't take apart the engine and repart it there. They had to
Yeah,
carefully load it on the plane, carefully fly it over to Japan, carefully unload it there, and then do the same thing. Do the same thing, but backwards.
that's right. Yeah,
Anyway, so Cornwall is still lovely displayed. Should be still displayed at Shildon, in Yorkshire, I would think. But yeah, Cornwall is last displayed on in locomotion in Shildon, and it is now owned by the National Railway Museum and resides at the Buckingham Railway Centre. Haha.
That's right.
So we'll add some little bit of speculations on this engine. So it was a 422 rebuilt as a 222. Its gauge was 4 feet and 8 inches, or 8.5 inches, so standard gauge.
Mm-hmm.
The fuel type, coal, and the cylinders, there was 2, and it was on the outside. And Trackford effort. And Ben,
Yes.
would you like to predict how much tractive effort did this engine have?
Well, I think that, I mean, being that it would be a pretty fast engine for the time, I think about, I don't know, 8,000, 9,000, something like that.
Oh no,
I
you're
don't know.
close. 8,575.
Wow.
Illinois. Right.
Yes.
Operators. The London North Western Railway, and it was Loco, Great Britain. I think I was meant to say locale. Why did I put locale in the script? Right, sorry, locate in Great Britain. It first ran in 1847, withdrawn in 1925, and disposal preserved. And what if I said it was never preserved and it was just a rebuild?
Was it?
No, it
Oh,
wasn't. Right. Well, that was a pain. This was a pain to do, and I think we should end it there.
yes.
So,
Huh?
we'll hopefully not do this again because I don't want to go on a topic that we don't know about.
Yes.
We'll hopefully do a topic that we do know about. We possibly might do locomotives outside of our my location anyway. So,
Yes.
good sir, we might go to your home country and talk about
Of
your
Norway,
lovely
yes.
narrow gauge railways.
Or of a pretty important engine, that being one of a royal variety, which
Hmm.
has had a lot of speculation recently.
Indeed. Right,
Yep.
we'll have to end this quickly then. So,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We will hopefully see you ever so slightly soon. So,
Sounds good.
toodaloo, and we are going to go because I want a cup of coffee.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.